So what's good, bro? We over here. Bro, my allergies killing me, so don't judge me. My left eye like somebody just stole me right in the face. Well, we here with my boy Lex. Been growing his locks for 2 years.
2 years, yes sir.
It's time to go.
Yeah,
It's time to go. So, when you wanna cut them, bro?
They just been getting in the way, man.
Okay.
Like when I eat, brush my teeth.
I'm gonna tell you, I didn't cut a few locks off, and I've heard a lot of reasons, but I don't think I ever heard anybody say they been getting in the way.
Yeah.
If they're in the way, they're in the way. So, what we doing?
Low drop fade.
All right, low drop fade and cut these bad boys off. We're gonna cut them to where you wanna take them home and keep them?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep
Oh yeah, okay, bet. All right, so we're gonna cut them to where you can keep them, but they been getting in the way, so they gotta go. All right, let's get it. Okay, so welcome back, guys. Today we have a big tutorial. This is gonna be an epic transformation, an epic video. Trust me, a lot of filled with tips, nuggets. This is a dope video. So he's had his locks for 2 years. We're cutting them off for a drop fade. I'm just using this clip to talk over while I'm setting the camera up. But we're going straight to waves. I'm gonna show you guys a method to make his hair lay and tame so he can get his waves right away. Like I said, his hair's been locked for 2 years. He has a ton of parts in his hair because his hair lays at a certain angle from his retwist. I'll show you how to use a round brush or a brush to get that out, especially with his hair texture. I can't take full credit for getting his waves to pop automatically because he has a very loose curl pattern with very fine hair. But at the same time, it takes a certain method to get the hair to fall in position. And I'll show you guys that as well. Trust me, you're gonna wanna stick around for this one because it's gonna be really good. So what a lock is, dreadlock, a lock, is basically when you clump your hair together for a while, it tends to lock together literally in forms of bond. And what happens is it's hard to comb through that hair, and it kind of gives you that look that you see there that I'm cutting off. But what happens is he hasn't had a retwist in a while, so that hair at the very stem of that root is new growth. That's what you call new growth. It's growing straight from the root. It's the newest hair on his head, all right, growing from the scalp. And that's great because what that does is it gives me hair that's not locked together that I can comb through and give me so I can start my progression. You see those parts? I'm going to wash them out so the hair can lay down. Anytime you do a transformation cut from locks or any kind of long style, it's all about taming and maintaining the hair. All right, and that usually comes with a really good wash, shampoo, and brush session while you wash. So you guys stick around. We're finna go from dreads or locks to straight drop fade waves. See you guys soon. Okay, so now after I get all those locks cut off, what I'm doing now is I'm basically taking a wide tooth comb or a medium tooth comb. I'm combing through his hair to make sure I don't have any locks left. I want to make sure that I have nothing but new growth, and I'm also combing in the direction that I'll brush and cut. It's very important that you do that because you have to retrain the hair. I want to make sure that I find out where swirl is, as the way the hair grows. You see those parts right there? There's so many. They're very thick because the hair is used to laying a certain way. But when you're dealing with hair, it's all about manipulation. Okay. If you can manipulate, like wavers, you know you can manipulate your hair to go sideways, backwards, but it's all about manipulating that pattern, okay? So right now, as I'm doing the wash, I'm gonna massage the scalp, relax the hair. You don't wanna irritate it, so first I'm gonna get that water nice and wet. Water's a universal activator, all right? The greatest activator. All activators usually has the formula of water as its base solvent, right? It's a universal solvent. Now I'm shampooing, right? I put my shampoo in. Now what I'm doing is it's on the end of that brush is like a round brush. It's very wide plastic comb, right? So I'm brushing the hair, I'm massaging, and I'm teaching the hair the way I want it to lay. This brush session as I wash, probably about 10-15 minutes because I want to lay that hair back down. It's been standing for so long. Again, he has a very loose curl pattern with fine hair, but at the same time, it hasn't been trained in so long. So what I'm doing is I'm training the hair as much as possible with the mixture of round brush, my hand, which massages the hair as well. I'm just coaching the hair. I found the swirl and I'm washing the hair, okay? So that's pretty much what I'm doing. This shampoo is what got rid of those parts for me, all right? So you shampoo, you brush, and then you shampoo again. And then after I shampoo, I'm still gonna brush. I'm teaching the hair. It's more of a teaching process to teach your hair the way to lay again. All right. Okay, so now I tried to let it air dry first. I took my Babyliss FX, and I went with the grain. Did a pretty good job. But after I started to bald, I noticed that scalp is still kind of wet or moist. And balders are very fine-tooth clippers with a surgical blade on it, so it's not the best. It doesn't do the best with wet hair, so I'll come back and blow dry it. I'll show you guys. But right now, I'm combing the hair. I'm cutting and combing the hair in the direction that it grows. As you can see, I'll do a lot of brushing throughout this video because I'm maintaining the hair. But I'm using the 4, and I'm going with the grain. A 4 open, then I'll do a 4 closed. Even though I brush the hair, I want to make sure there's no cowlicks, no swirls, no extra swirls once I get that hair laid back down. Now I'm using my Torino brush. It's a soft brush. I'm just coaching the hair to lay down. Although I want to comb, I'm teaching because I want those waves to pop once this haircut is done. So again, throughout this video, I'll do a lot of brushing just to teach and hone the hair. Now right here, I'm using my Walls Balders, and I'm trying to, when I do this drop fade, I want to do it very low. He specifically specified that he wants a low drop fade below the nape of the neck, about 1 inch or 2, and now keep it very close to the ear, below the temple of the head, okay? After getting this first side done, I noticed that it was kind of wet, so what I did was came back with my blow dryer, and I just blow dried and brushed the hair, okay? So you see how low I'm keeping it really tight to the ear, really tight. I'm using my index finger to pull that ear down as my balders work. Great tip. So that way I don't have to use 2 hands. I just use my finger. See that? I wrap my finger around the ear to pull it down. So as I blow dry, instead of using a comb, I'll first use my brush on the round part of my brush, the round brush part, to teach. It's very important you notice these keywords. I'm teaching the hair. All right? Because waves are nothing but taut curls to lay down. Very tame curls to lay down. So and look at my angles that I'm blow drying. Watch. I'm blow drying with the direction that I'm brushing. I don't want to blow dry backwards because when I blow dry, I'm making the hair puffy. So even though I'm making the hair fluff up some, I want to fluff in the direction that I'm cutting and brushing, okay? So if you see top angle from the top, side from the side, and when I'm doing the top, I'm going straight forward, okay? Okay, so now I have my Andy Supra. This is a 2 with the ceramic blade. Now, the haircut is a 4, but I'm doing a 2 on the sides because this is my fade area, okay? Very key term, my fade area, the area of the haircut where the fade will be, okay? This is a form of debulking, okay? Because I'm cutting it down. Because if I kept this a 4 and I fade it, it'll look bulky when I fade. And I don't want that. All right, I'm making my secondary line. Instead of using my Babyliss FX or my Masters with no guard, I'm using the 1 guard because his hair is so long still. He preferred a 4 on top, which is okay, but I didn't want to give myself too much of a wide margin to work from. So I put a 1 on for my secondary fade line. All right, I'm going to get this initial fade in, and then after I edge them up, I'll come back and do my touch-up spots. It's very important. When hair has been long for so long, I don't expect to get the perfect fade the first time around. Still a really good fade, but I'll come back and do my problem solving at the very end. All right, back to using my comb. And now I have a 3, debulking, okay? I'm going to stretch up right around the nape, lower temple area, and I work my way up. If you notice, see that primary line, the ball line, is at an angle, so drop fade. Now I want to keep that same consistency when I fade my secondary line, when I debulk, and I take out my line. That's kind of what gives your fade that consistent look. I don't want to do a drop fade and then fade the back real high and the sides real low. It's about consistency. I fade along my lines. I apologize about the blurriness. It'll come back some. So it's very important you notice my clipper placement and hand placement. I have the clipper kind of laying flush to the skin, short choppy strokes. Every now and then I take a longer stroke. So the more flush the clipper is to the scalp, the more hair comes off per stroke. Now, when I lift that blade or that comb of that blade off the scalp and use more of the teeth of the clippers, I'm taking less hair, or I'm hitting a targeted specific area. All right, see, I use my index finger again to snatch the ear down. I'm stretching the skin. Some clients, depending on the client, some clients have very tight skin on their scalp. Some have looser areas. In certain areas, his hair was a little loose, but I stretch the skin up or down just to make my fade area bigger. Especially with a haircut like this. If you notice, he doesn't have really long sides. So I had to make sure that my fade area, I had to extend it as far as possible. Now I'm taking my tool again, plastic tool, on my magic clip, and I'm going with the grain. Debulking, just a form of debulking. I don't want any bulkiness. Okay? Again with my 3, very repetitive. You want to make sure that it's not about how many times you do the progression or do the method. It's just about doing it until you're comfortable. I love being comfortable. All right? So you guys watching, I'll be back soon. Okay, that was sooner than I expected. So now I have my 1.5, and I'm debulking more. But now, what I'm doing now, the first debulking was so that my fade wasn't bulky. Now my 1.5 that I'm debulking with is for, you're about to see me use my Masters 1, okay? So basically, I'm pretty much debulking to the very end when I blend these two sections together. With him having a 4 on top, it was a lot of debulking that needed to be done because 4 to 0 is a big, big difference. So, if you see some fades that are kind of, what causes chili is a lack of debulking. That's just it. If you don't debulk, most of the times you're going to have chili. So I debulk, I go from 4 to 3 to 2 with the grain to 1.5 with the grain to 1 with, 1 against, and then I use my Masters all the way open. You see I'm turning angles. Now I'm trying to see the way his hair pattern grows. And I'm using my comb, not the brush, because I want to space that hair. The brush clumps the hair. The comb spaces the hair in the root and the route that it grows, okay? Now I'm using my 1/16 to kind of hit those areas. See, now I'm using slower, longer strokes, and I'm targeting using the corner of the clipper, so that way I can hit targeted areas. With fine hair, you don't want to take off anything. You don't want to take off anything from a section that you weren't targeting because it kind of gaps. All right? Now, more debulking, okay? So you guys watch. Now I'm just doing repetitive steps. You guys study, and I'll come back when it's time for the edge up. So now it's time for the edge up. He has curly hair. The biggest problem with edging curly hair is that it runs when you edge it. So first what I'll do is debulk the edge up with a 2, about a 2.5, because it's open. And I'm just lightly hitting it to get that hair, the long hair first. Now what I want to do is open up those cuticles, the outermost layer of that hair. So I'm coming to a warm rag. Let it sit for about 30 seconds after I apply my shave gel to lay that hair down. Then I'll brush more. Now I can use my razor. The hair is softened, the cuticles are open, and now it'll make my job much easier with this razor, and the hair lay there because it's already thinned out. You can also use a razor method to debulk. Either or, they both work perfectly fine. Also, as I'm edging, I'll notice certain spots in the fade that are still bulky that I want to go back and hit afterwards. I can see a few here, and I can see one right there is where I'm brushing at. Now I'll go back and clean that. Sometimes after you edge the hair is when you find more flaws, but it's on you as a barber to take the extra precaution to make sure that fade comes out perfect. See, I pointed to one right there. So let me get this edge up in, and I'll go back and take care of all of that. It's all about cleaning your work, cleaning your workspace. Okay, so first I brush to tame. Now I'm using my comb to edge because I want to space that hair. With this hair texture, I don't want the hair to clump because when the hair clumps, it kind of curls over. And I don't want the hair to curl. I want it to lay in its natural direction. I use the razor, and I'm finding the most natural space possible. With this type of hair, it kind of hangs over the edge up, but I don't want to take off too much. I don't want to make its edge up receding or pushing back. So I comb down, find the thickest space, and that's kind of usually where the natural area goes. I stretch the skin with my thumb right there, and I'm just pulling away just the edge. And when it comes to using that razor, it's all about technique and practice. All right? I'm stretching the skin, pulling down towards his eyebrow, trying not to take his eyeball out, and I'm using the corner of the blade right here. And I'm just getting all the excess hair off the forehead. You will be surprised how much taking that excess hair off the forehead makes the fade look cleaner. So you guys watch me get the edge up in on both sides, and then after I get through, you'll see me clean up and watch how different this fade looks after I get these bulky areas out. Okay, now watch this. Look at this bulky area right here above the temple. I'm going to put my one on, I comb it, and watch how it disappears. It's all about the cleanup afterwards. Some barbers don't want to go back and hit that, but I have to. You know, my name was on the line, and I got OCD. So watch, I hit it a few times. I go back and brush it. I'm just using the corner because I'm targeting a specific area. Now, you see the difference there? Go back and hit it a few more times. But that's pretty much all it is. Same thing on this side. So I'll let you guys watch me edge up and then clean up this side. And I'll see you at the end. After I clean up this area, I go back and get all those stand-up hairs. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you soon. Game Changer out. Watch the ending result.